different shades of the color blue?
How about when he asked her about Ray Gunkel? That's the one that won me over. I was like, geez, of all the things to ask her about, Ray Gunkel.
He asked her who was her. What were her comments on 3 wrestlers? Corporal Kirshner, Ray Gunkel, and somebody she'd actually heard of.
Now, the thing is, when I broke Skye in and she was getting ready to do matches, she hit me up about, what do you think of the name Skye Blue? And I said right away, I don't get it. You don't have blue eyes. Where's the blue fit in? Where's the blue come in? You know? Sadly, the speculation is that there was a famous porn star named Skye Blue, or is a famous porn star named Skye Blue, and somehow she was hoping to traffic from that. And again, I thought she was better than that. You understand what I'm saying?
But yeah, I mean, RJ City needs to have some type of segment on the Daily Show, or it needs to be one of the roving reporters on Comedy Central, or whatever the case. It was amazing, and at about halfway through, you realize that he's doing this partially to entertain himself because he was getting nothing from her. But I'm wondering, and like I said earlier, they know that she was completely clueless and almost incapable of speech, and they put her with the quickest guy in the company. Was it a rib on her is what I'm wondering. And then
well, if it was a rib on her, which maybe it was a rib on her, pretty goddamn expensive rib, and it's going to do more damage than good, you know? It's not funny. There's a certain amount of fans that like the inside joke, but the inside jokes never, ever, ever equate into money. And it's sad. Like, you guys can get mad at me all you want, you INDIOTS and the internet wrestling community, but how much money is being spent? For God's sake, AEW is on network television, you know? So it's time to play inside jokes. What successful program or form of entertainment plays butt games with the stakes so high, you know? The other thing I want to say is that Skye Blue has access to number 1, Mark Henry, number 2, The Big Show, number 3, Billy Gunn, and most importantly, Dustin Rhodes, who knows what it's like to break into this industry following his amazing father, who is known for the promos and couldn't cut a promo to save his life in the beginning, but turned it around like a son of a bitch into being in more than one occasion from the promo World Wrestling Entertainment's number 1 merchandise seller.
He showed it. I mean, again, if I was producing the program, or I don't know if they have producers for their internet segments, or if they just get a camera together and whatever, but at some point somebody had to clear it, put it on YouTube. She looks like a complete imbecile. I would have said, okay, whoa, let's not do this. Skye, Miss Blue, if you are not any more comfortable than that, or can't come back with, I don't know, responses that sound like complete sentences, we can't air this, no matter how good RJ City is. I mean, I loved it, but I'm thinking about it that way. I'm like, why did they make this girl look like a complete fucking buffucking?
Well, again, maybe she didn't see it that way. And RJ City, this show, AEW, it's been something AEW's put on their YouTube channel for a while, so it's
if they don't see it and Skye doesn't see it, this is exactly what's wrong. I would love to see the dollars generated from the YouTube traffic to this segment. It's nothing or next to nothing. Trust me when I tell you, YouTube doesn't pay shit.
Been established as a show, she would know what she was getting into.
Well, then she don't have much judgment in what she's getting into.
He's really good, though.
He's fucking fantastic.
He's really good.
This not in a wrestling context, but goddamn it.
Hold on,
on the Daily Show.
Let's play a sample here, so people can hear a little bit of what we're talking about.
This will be good.
female David Otunga. You come to the ring wearing a backwards hat.
Yep.
Explain that.
Kind of just, well, the first one I ever got, my mom got me.
Okay.
And then I lost it because a fan stole it. Mm-hmm. And then I made another one and I just...
Oh my God. My mom got it for me. Her mom and her are close. That's great. But her mom literally holds her hand. And that doesn't help her make her own way in the wrestling industry. You understand what I'm saying?
Kind of feel the thing. Just stick it out.
Okay, and you don't get any pushback from the network? TBS is okay with it? It's just such a rebellious statement. You know, what's next? You gonna tie your jacket around your waist?
I do that when I have the elbow cast.
See, she's really a wild one. And it's airbrushed on the back, right?
He was just goofing on her, and she didn't even realize it.
And then I make them sparkly.
So what happened? You went to Six Flags or some guy in the middle of a mall and you said, my name's Skye. And he said, sure it is. And you dropped $25 on that? And then you don't even show the front of it on camera?
These ones I get from the south side. It's very scary when I have to go get them.
Okay.
She doesn't know where she is, the south side. She probably thinks that as soon as you pass O'Hare, you're in the south side of Chicago. Why does she have to travel to the south side? Everybody ships hats, you know, and they ship them pretty cheap. And at the end of the day, to me, this could be construed as being racist, in my opinion. She doesn't go to no south side. And most of your haps and your action and your bullshit today in Chicago is the west side. So I don't know what the hell she's afraid of.
South side, but the first one was from Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The Wisconsin Dells. On a family vacation, probably. Does Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch or Bailey... this is promo time. Do they talk about that type of stuff? It's like dealing with a freshman in high school.
And then you don't show it. You know, it's on the back of the hat. Why not airbrush the front of the hat or turn the hat around? Okay. And they don't sell this as merchandise. Does that bother you? Should they be selling Skye Blue hats?
Probably.
Look into the camera and tell Shop AEW.
Yeah, what he said. What he said.
No, I'm interviewing you. Take ownership of your hat. Say, hey, Shop AEW.
There's fans that make them.
There's fans that make them. Wrestling is an industry, you goof. This is why she's not going to go anywhere. I don't understand it. Why do you not want to make money with your hats, but you pimp yourself out on OnlyFans? I don't understand, because it certainly has nothing to do with integrity.
Can't sell them. Do you want to make any money in this business at all?
Do you want to make any money in this business at all? Skye Blue's making money in wrestling, but I'll guarantee you she's also still living at home, not paying any bills or rent. Do you understand what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, more power to you. But guess what? If you don't change what you're doing and change what you're doing quick, this is it for you.
Same thing David Otunga said.
Let me stop it there. There's a sample of it.
It's like she's 7 years old. Oh my God.
You want them to sell the hats while the fans make them. Don't you want to make money in this business? He's won me over. You know, I saw him on that pregame show with Renee.
And here's the other part with it, okay? Now, the only place to make money in the wrestling industry, to make real money, World Wrestling Entertainment, sees this, and that's it. That's over. She doesn't have the brain power. You guys can hate on evil Vince and WWE all you want, but the fact of the matter is, when you go to work for Vincent Kennedy McMahon or World Wrestling Entertainment, whose stock does do very well, you end up being an independent contractor. And if you have any salt at all and you start to get any juice, you form a corporation and you end up being a strategic partner with Vince and the WWE. What that means is, when we make money, we all make money. She doesn't get it, and she's exposing the fact that she doesn't get it. Okay? Now, I'm going to wrap this thing up because it's kind of cheating for me to just play Jim's interview or Jim's review of Skye's interview, which is just ridiculous. And again, so priceless with that cabbage. Number one, wrestling today more than ever is a marathon, not a sprint. Skye's name is out there now as a goof, as being a goof. So they're aware of who she is. For today, she's known as a goof. She hurt herself and she absolutely will not be signing with NXT anytime soon. But the fact that she's out there as a goof and an idiot and they know who they are, and go ahead and check the record, this stuff goes away. And if they say, look at what a goof she used to be and what she has developed into. You understand? And that's what I saw for her. She broke in with another young man who I'm not even going to mention because he's another goof. They broke in, both of them at 17, 18, and started training with me. And the way I was trying to groom them was the fact that by the time you guys are 30, you could be household names. You understand what I'm saying? That would be 12 years to pay your dues and to get out there. And that's what it takes today. I mean, unless you are a real savant or some sort of miracle worker, okay? What Skye needs to do is take advantage of the assets that she has. The greatest assets that she has right now. And I know Dustin Rhodes is running a wrestling school that's tied with AEW. It's not AEW or an AEW effort or an AEW company as far as I know, but it should be mandated that she goes and F's around from time to time under the tutelage of Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes, in fact, like I said before, drew a roadmap of how to develop and tap into your charisma. Skye Blue needs to not go and work out at CSW's ring that you can't even bump in. She needs to find a ring, and probably at Dustin's, to work out in, to get better in, to try things in, to get timing in, to maintain timing in. She has to go out there and look believable and be believable and shut her hole and go up and humble herself and go to the Mark Henrys, the Billy Gunns, to the big show and to the Dustin Reynolds and say, I can't cut a fucking promo, help. And they'll help. I know all those guys. They'll help if you come to them hat in hand, and they won't be inappropriate with her either, you know. But that's what happens when the animals run the zoo. Now, what are her attributes? She is cute. Cute sells, you know. The day of the diva as a woman's wrestler is dead. There can be diva managers and diva wrestling characters, but in ring, the day of the diva is dead because of the times. If you look at World Wrestling Entertainment and their matches, if you follow the women wrestlers, World Wrestling Entertainment, most of those girls work harder than the guys do. They're on the road, I believe, 4 or 5 days a week now. But when you see them when they're not on the road on any of their social media, they are in the gym or in a ring working out. Skye Blue has a very cute about her, but she does not have a cute about her the power of Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Skye Blue have similar derrieres. But if you look at Liv Morgan as she was coming up, and particularly off the top of my head, when she was the Buddy Roberts to the other two girls when they were doing the six-man stuff, or the little faction with her, and I want to say it was a British and a Scottish girl, maybe both Scottish, I don't remember. She wore full-length tights to get the focus off of her ass. And then when she got over as a legitimate wrestler, a hard-working, believable wrestler, now she accentuates her assets, which is that butt, you know. This is what Skye's doing, and you can see in the thumbnail. Now, this is like some sort of meme that's flying around like crazy. And again, I'm not exposed to much independent crap because of my social media and who I follow and who I've blocked and who I've also just unfollowed so I don't see the crap. So for this to appear on my social media, this picture that's on the thumbnail, this is not what you want, because they're not even going to remember her name, which doesn't make any sense. They'll go, oh, that cute girl with the fat ass. You know, once again, There's no real money in OnlyFans. There's no real money in the internet wrestling community that watches female wrestling for the nip slips and the labias to fall out and all this other questionable crap. It's an industry. It's not an art form to show a big butt. And that's something that I was told. Well, Randy just was, holding me back with my creativity. I wasn't trying to hold back her creativity. I didn't want her to be known for her ass and nothing else. And that's what she's known for. Which is sad. There's no money in it. But her attribute, she's cute. She is athletic. She is somewhat stubborn, so that keeps her working out, etc. But she's not humble anymore, and you gotta be humble. You always gotta be teachable in professional wrestling. I've known AJ Styles since he was 18 or 19. And what a road that guy traveled. And look at his net worth, and the fact of how he handles his business. AJ couldn't cut a promo. And then they were pissed because AJ's drawl was so heavy because he was country AF coming from where he came from, the small town in Georgia. And look at him now. This is a guy that was told by WWE years ago before TNA that you're too small. Then they were going to build total nonstop action around AJ Styles. And then after that blew up, and he lost all those years working for that company, which he did learn a lot from, WWE said, now you're too old and banged up. No. And AJ took the bull by the horns, went to Japan, not only paid the bills, but got over like a son of a bitch to where WWE just had to have him, and the rest is history. You understand what I'm saying? So Skye's got to get to work and not rest on her laurels and say, I'm a wrestler. No, you're not. It's not personal. I don't wish any ill will on her. When I first broke into the business, you did not throw a punch or take a microphone for the first 5 years. You had to learn the craft. Well, things are different now. You got to pick up that mic and you got to be able to do something with it. And that dipshittedness is not what they're talking about. If nothing else, keep it on the DL. Keep it straightforward, script her, teach her to talk from her diaphragm like I am, so she doesn't look like such a lunkhead, Point I'm trying to make is this is a terrible, terrible thing for her career for the interim. However, WWE likes the emotionally mature, and you gotta have humility, and you gotta work harder when you get a tiny break, even a tiny break. You gotta work harder when you're there. And the other thing is, the internet should never know who Skye Blue's boyfriend is. That's ridiculous. And I've known all of her boyfriends since she branched out into this crap. Look at the WWE women's wrestlers today. You don't know who they're dating until they mean something and they've harnessed their job, but they put their job first. These relationships in the business will never work out right, and it's only at the end of the day going to do more harm, which Skye Blue doesn't need at this point. One can only hope that she grows the F up and uses the common sense that God gave her. And you can't have better resources in today's industry than the guys, I say again, that she has access to. And I'm particularly talking about Mark Henry, who is always willing to help. He's taught a lot of guys a lot of things, and he's taught a lot of guys the little things, okay? Billy Gunn, unbelievable resource. Let's face it, the guy ran NXT for how many years? And then I'm going to go ahead and say Dustin Rhodes, Dustin Reynolds, who go ahead and go back and watch his early stuff when he was working in Memphis, when he was working at WCW, and how they wouldn't let him near a mic, and when they did, he wasn't much better than Skye Blue, but he was smart enough to know not to let nobody goof on him. And then go ahead and check how many times Dustin Reynolds' charisma was such that he was the top selling merch world on WWE Shop. You know what I'm saying? It's sad to see the animals run the zoo, and the fact that that mindset of, well, we don't have to listen to the old timer stuff is running rampant in AEW, obviously. And this is the only thing that I'm paying attention to again, because this is the only thing that's popped up. I don't even want to know what else AEW is doing, because they've just killed off Skye Blue. They did stand a chance of making this ROH thing go good, but now they've put people like Skye Blue on there who's going to kill off that underground secret cult following thing that ROH is known for. All right, guys. Once again, like and subscribe. Check out in the description. I'm going to go ahead and post Jim Cornette's channel because I blatantly stole that cabbage, and we also used him and his podcast, in this blatantly, and ways to support Premier Pro Wrestling. Specifically, check out Premier Pro Wrestling on Pro Wrestling Tees, and there's other ways that you'll see because I'm going to post the links in the description. If you want to let me have it, let me have it. But I just don't think I'm wrong. I know what I know about the wrestling industry because it's been a big part of my life for over half my life. All right, guys. Thanks for emotional investment.